Okay, I want to hop on and talk about this right quick before I lose the fire of this. Boogie2988 and Every Damn Day Fitness. I follow Boogie2988. I'm aware of what's going on and his last video where he gained weight. And I'm aware that his gastric bypass came to a certain stall. He's at, what was he at, 300 something pounds as opposed to 600. I'm aware of his dead mother's abuse of him and how he talks about it all the time and his mental health issues because of that, and his very I won't say passive aggressive, but actually black humor, dark humor, dark, very sarcastic, judgmental humor of himself and of other people. And that's become a backlash with him. I kind of relate to that. And I know the effect that it can have on your mental health, and how his channel is declining because of the trouble he's getting himself in by talking like he does on Twitch, and people are seeing that, and then they're kind of saying that there's a disconnect between his YouTube persona, this is Boogie, and his Twitch persona. And then memes are being made about him hiring prostitutes as girlfriends and stuff like that. Now, I'm aware of Every Damn Day Fitness. I don't watch him that much. I've seen a little bit of him, but I'm not as interested in his personality. It's just kind of blah. But I'm aware that he's getting a lot of traction. Now, the last video that I just saw of Every Damn Day Fitness, because it was on my feed, I don't know if that was the best way. If Boogie has a mother who's acting like the way you were acting in that video, and shooting threats and saying you can't help Boogie. I don't recall his name. I know you mentioned it, or it was mentioned in another video. Let's just say Boogie. You can't help him. And he's aware that he's pretty aware from what I've seen, and he does have a therapist. It's more of a psychological issue, I think the overeating was just the self-punishment, you know what I mean? It could most probably, he says he's got anxiety and all that, and probably PTSD if he hasn't mentioned it. It's most probably, borderline, that's what happens. You eat, you have an addiction and you try to deal with the pain and suffering that comes from your childhood, right? Reenacting the same kind of character as his mother did and saying that you can help him is a lie. You're taking the role of a trainer and you're taking it way too far. You can't be a shrink. You can guide him, but he has to make the choice himself. And when he's ready, he will. He seems to have guidance by a therapist, and he's learned a lot. He might not be where you want him to be in terms of being readiness. But what kind of got my goat was like, oh, I don't know why I'm helping him. I really don't know why I'm putting myself out there. Because he has like 10 to 20 times more subscribers than you. It's going to be a push for you. So I kind of don't like the kind of scary, like Freely the Banana Girl did the same thing, saying she could help him go vegan and lose weight. When you're hoeing for views, that's pretty reprehensible. You know what I mean? I don't like that. Personal trainers already have the reputation of being hoes. A lot of people who call themselves trainers have just for fans accounts on Instagram. So I think that's pretty reprehensible. Saying that you can help him. You can't help him. He has to help himself, right? And making him, using a tactic where you're trying to scare him straight or making him feel that he's an idiot. He already knows that, and he's kind of using that as a defense mechanism with the whole, I guess you want to call it pity party, you know what I mean? And he's most probably feeding off that. So that's not helping. That's what kind of got me, you know what I mean? You might think that, okay, you start with the fitness and then your mind's going to change because of it. It may, you know, for me fitness helped me a lot with discipline, and it's my therapy, but it's not everyone's therapy. It's not, you know. I've had many clients who are afraid because of traumatic experiences that happen in secondary school, you know, high school, you know, so it becomes something more mental. Now, if you want to apply something like CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and say that, okay, in order to get over this issue, you just change the action and your mind will follow, it doesn't work for anyone who's borderline, right? I'm not saying he is, but it doesn't work for anyone who's borderline. You have to accept the fact that this is where he's at. And I think he's pretty aware of that from a lot of videos that I've seen. And he does, you know, he does New Year's resolutions, and some of the things he fails at, some he doesn't. But that's what you have to do. I don't think Boogie is, he's not an idiot, you know, and I think his progress over the years is quite spectacular considering where he came from. It's a long journey. Do I think the gastric bypass surgery was necessary? Well, I mean, if you're 600 pounds, most probably. Is it wrong to think that that would solve all your problems? Yes, it's wrong. I mean, it's like, I don't know if you're on steroids, Mr. Fitness. It's like taking steroids when you don't know how to work out. It's kind of the same thing with taking the gastric bypass without knowing how to eat right and manage your life. But then it becomes which is the lesser of the two evils. If you're gonna die, you better do something to not die, and then, you know, be prepared to learn how to get through the next hump. And I think that's where he's at right now. So, Boogie, I commend you, you know. I don't think he doesn't know how to eat right. It's not rocket science. You know what I mean? I think the issue comes with under major stress, you know, and probably some sort of dissociation, or just fleeing when the stress is too high. You just want to say fuck it and not think about it, and just gorge yourself with food. That's more of a mental health thing. It's not use some willpower and do it. No. It's good if you're preparing for maybe a show in like 6 weeks to 12 weeks, but willpower doesn't get you that far. It has to become habit. So it's a lot harder, especially if you're dealing with several things on your plate already. So going up in weight, if it's seen, it's already seen. Now the question is, how's he going to deal with it to get back to the starting point, or to mitigate the damage that's done, to not go further. The more you're able to control it from getting up to back to the 600 pounds, that's a win. That is a win. So holding on to that and knowing for weak points like holidays and other stress factors, those are the things to work on, you know. And he's already exercising in the sense that he's going out and traveling. That probably is an enormous amount of calorie burn for him from where he started. Being able to hold on to that for a bit while somewhat holding on to body weight, even with fluctuations. Now, fluctuations probably won't be like 4 to 5 pounds. It'll probably be like 10 to 20 pounds. Granted, there's nothing to say that he can't get back on the wagon. And that will be his choice to do. And if he's guided by a therapist, and if he's, you know, using thought process to you know, to think this over and develop strategies. That's what needs to be done. Now, having some, you know, some middle-aged trainer telling him, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that. If he says fuck you to you, I would say fuck you to you, because what the hell do you know? Nothing. You don't know him, right? That's what I say as a trainer. People come to me and they want miracles. I can't give you a miracle. If you're fucked up, you're fucked up. I could guide you, but if I see myself trying to drill sergeant you or trying to force you to do something or try to be in conflict, no. This is not The Biggest Loser. The Biggest Loser is the biggest fucking joke ever. And yeah, I mean, if you're trying to recreate that, fuck that. Fuck that shit. This whole, yeah, let's go fight everyone in Iraq, let's win. We're fighters, No, have a little balance, you know? Accept the fact that things are very hard. And if he wants to talk about it on his channel, he can talk what the fuck he wants on his channel. It's his channel. When he comes to the decision that he doesn't want to do that anymore, that he wants to make his channel grow more, that will be the time that he changes. And that will be the time that he makes the first step. And that will be the time that he goes out to reach to whoever. Now, what I'm worried about is if he's reaching to someone who's very frustrated at the fact that this guy with mega followers is not looking at me, even though I have about 295,000 followers, it's not a win-win, you know? If he's going after that because you were the meanest to him and, you know, out of love or whatever, mommy dearest type thing, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? That means like he's just transferring all his shit from his mother who's dead onto you because you're both pieces of shit in terms of the way you're acting towards him. You know? And if Boogie doesn't see that, then that's a major issue. You know? If he's going to be changing just because he sees the fear of his mother telling him he's a piece of shit for being too fat and that he should lose weight, that's not good at all. So, take your little hoeing ass and fuck off. Let him do what he wants, okay? That's it.